Okay, this video is going to be primarily about the RUSHFPV TANK Ultimate Mini 20x20 video transmitter. This guy goes all the way up to 800 milliwatts, a very clean FPV video signal. It's got smart audio and all that, and it's pretty lightweight. I put some photos up on my Instagram already, talked a little bit about this in a previous video, but I'm going to show you some testing I did on this video transmitter on this frame here, this 5-inch frame from Can-Am Motors. It's called the FX1 Ultralight. It's a dead cat style ultralight 5-inch frame. I did a frame review on this already, and I did a conversion project of the LDARC 200 GT, which is an ultralight 5-inch, which had these 1806 motors on here, 2500 kV. And this is a project that I've been sitting on for a long time. This frame review came out a super long time ago, as well as the review on the 200 GT. And the reason this video has been delayed, I did the build like fairly soon after I had done the frame review. I had done the updated parts here. I just could not get it to fly, and I couldn't figure out why, because the 200 GT flew totally fine. But when I transferred the parts over to this frame, I thought it was a bad PID tune or something. It would just constantly have these random violent shakes out of nowhere, and I didn't really understand what was going on, so I basically shelved this project. I put it aside while I worked on other stuff, and it just kind of sat on the shelf for a few months. And then I received this video transmitter from RUSHFPV. I was like, well, I did notice that there was a lot of video noise when I was testing this out on the video transmitter that the 200 GT came with, and I thought maybe there was some sort of an issue with the turtle, because that was the only thing that was different, was I added the turtle, and the frame was different, of course. So I decided to, because of the video noise, I decided, well, let's go ahead and swap out the video transmitter, because I know that the video noise of this guy is going to be pretty low. And it turned out, as soon as I put this in, and of course I was going to test out the Cherry antenna here from RUSHFPV as well. Fits this particular canopy, or this little part here, this kind of goes, this little TPU part, screws right in there, and this actually fits perfectly. I just hold this little part holds the antenna part, it screws into the TPU, and then the connector, this MMCX connector, goes into the video transmitter like that. So it was almost as if this part was designed for this frame here, and now it flies totally fine with these parts in here. And I think it was because the video transmitter I was using before had some sort of an electrical issue with the turtle, some sort of a conflict, and I think the combination of those two, they didn't like each other, caused a lot of electrical noise, and I think that electrical noise got into the gyro, causing the basically what looked like a really bad PID tune that I couldn't figure out. So I guess the lesson here is, if you have video noise and electrical noise in your system, maybe you ought to look into switching out your video transmitter, and that could possibly help. It helped me, got this guy up in the air, and I was able to finally fly it. So yeah, that's the story. Very interesting story. I know these guys were waiting for this video for a long, long time, and I'm sorry about that. I had some troubleshooting to do, but now this is actually working totally fine. Now what I would suggest to you, and I'm going to actually suggest it to Can-Am Motors, or Rotors, is they ought to put some sort of, I guess, pre-selected parts for this frame, say with the turtle, that all work together, and also a PID tune, and say motors, ESC, flight controller, suggested parts for this frame, because I think for me it was a bit of a struggle to, even though I have a lot of experience, finding all the correct parts and everything to work together for this setup with the proper PID tune. So even right now, I really haven't had the time to do a proper PID tune in this one. So I would suggest to Can-Am Rotors to put a suggested list of parts that they know works with a PID tune that works with the turtle here. That's what this is kind of designed for, is a HD video. That's why it's a dead cat, so the props aren't in the view. So that's what I would suggest in terms of getting a build up quicker, so people can just buy the frame, buy the suggested parts, put on their PID tune, and go and fly it. Because it was a bit of a struggle, and that's why this video took so long to get this particular frame out. But back to the video transmitter. As I said, it basically is like the other video transmitters from RUSHFPV. Very low video noise. It has an LC filter on board, smart audio, power switchable up to 800 milliwatts. All of the lights here and the buttons function the same way as it does on the other video transmitters from Rush, so I do like the consistency. And then they use the solder pads here, which I like a lot. That's one of the reasons why it was a pretty easy install. I just desoldered the old video transmitter, I soldered up this new one, and I was pretty much good to go. It was a 5-minute swap in. Wish I had this part a long time ago. I hadn't really thought about the issue until I remembered there was a lot of video noise from the old setup, and that was probably from the conflict of the turtle and the video transmitter, and this part solved it. So kind of an unusual tip, but yeah, if you have a lot of video noise and maybe PID tuning issues, maybe switch out your video transmitter and that might solve your problems and you can go fly. So here is some testing results of me flying this basically down the park and basically going behind a bunch of trees, so you guys can see what the penetration is like of the antenna, and this on 25 milliwatts. So it's probably about 200 meters away, and it's penetrating through a bunch of trees. So it's kind of a simple test, but you get an idea of what the quality of the transmission signal is. I could totally fly through it, no problem. I was using the Sky 030 goggles with the built-in diversity receiver on the Sky 030 goggles. So keep that in mind. It's nothing too fancy, just a basic diversity receiver and the DVR from the Sky 030 goggles. Anyway guys, here's that test, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.